بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. Today's maxim is لا riba, no usury. It is not considered as usury. It is not considered as usury إلا فيما يؤكل إلا فيما يكال let me change it إلا فيما يكال ويوزن يكال ويوزن except in what is measured and what is weight. Only in these two things. Now, what is the definition of riba, usury? What is riba, my friends?
Interest on money.
Riba, not only that. This is part of it. This is just part of it. I will tell you. Riba in language, riba means what? Means growth or increase. This is in language. But riba in fiqh, what does in fiqh mean? It means بيع. In fiqh it means بيع أحد المثلين بالآخر زيادة. I'll translate. بيع أحد المثلين بالآخر زيادة. Selling not shelling, selling. Selling two similar things, exchanging them with an increase. Exchanging two similar things with an increase. Okay? What does that mean? You have 2 bags of wheat and you are exchanging them. Each one is similar to each other, same weight, 10 kilos. Exchanging one of them 10 kilos, exchange it with another one which is 11 kilos. Okay? Or changing milk is measured, okay? Wheat, bread, rice, tea, let's say. These things are weight, okay? They weight them and they sell them. But let's say milk is measured by liter, by gallon, by whatever is the unit of measurement. So selling, let's say, 10 gallons of milk with 11 gallons of milk, exchanging them. This is called riba. Even though when you come to the bags of wheat, one of them is good quality, quality number one. The second is, the quality is number two. So one of them is better than the other in quality. Still, you cannot exchange them with an increase. Are you with me?
That's quality, right?
Even if the quality is different. Sometimes someone says, but I am giving good quality. I'm giving 8 kilos of good quality and getting 10 kilos of bad quality. Still you cannot do such exchange. Things that are similar. But let's say you can exchange wheat with rice. Let's say 10 kilos of wheat with 20 kilos of rice, because they are different. The type is different. The type is different. Or let's say you tell him, I give you a kilo of tea, give me 5 kilos of rice. It's okay. But not, I give you a kilo of tea and you give me a kilo and a half of your tea.
Sorry, Maulana.
Even if the tea is different. Let's say that one, tea from India. This one, tea from Africa. And they are different in a price. Still, you cannot do that for things that are weighed and measured.
Maulana, you said the quality, you can exchange the same weight.
Even if the quality is different. But because it's from the same type, you cannot get an increase. You can exchange, but you can't get the increase. Unless someone who says, I want to give you more. I want to give you more. You are not asking. With riba, my friends, riba usury, when you ask, we will come to the second type of riba. Riba has two types. First type is mu'amali. Mu'amali. Where shall I write this? Mu'amali. Mu'amali means what? Trading. Mu'amali means the trading. This is one type of riba. Mu'amali. Okay? This is one type. Mu'amali means trading. Mu'amali means when you exchange commodities, and if this exchange involves two types of commodities, one type is being weighed, the other type is being measured, then the amount has to be the same. You cannot ask for an increase in the amount. Let me ask you this question. If we exchange wheat and barley, they should be same amount or different? Because they are different types. So you can give 10 kilos of wheat in exchange for 15 kilos of barley. They say no. The only exception is wheat and barley. They consider them the same type. So they treat them as being one kind. But the rest, they are different. This is al-riba al-mu'amali, the trading. You are not allowed for things that are measured or weighed. How about, let's say, things that are numbered? You buy them by number. Let's say eggs. You go to the market, they sell them by number. Or some oranges. Sometimes I've seen some shops, they say, they don't weight them. They say this is each, or peach or orange or whatever, bananas, let's say. Some of these fruit stands, they sell them by numbers. So if that commodity is sold by number, adad, not by this or that, can you exchange more? You give him? Yes, because this is riba, is only in these two.
What about money?
I'll come to that one. Let's finish with this one, the trading first. Commodities, goods. If the object is being numbered, counted by numbers, like eggs, like bananas, like things that they sell them by numbers. Shoes, let's say. Shoes, they are not measured or weighed by numbers. Pair of shoes, 2 pairs, 3. In that case, it's okay to ask for more if you are exchanging these commodities, because they are numbered.
So if I have
10 oranges,
eggs, yeah.
eggs, okay, 10 oranges, you can tell him, I'll give you these 10, give me 12. You can ask for an increase, because it is not part of this or this. The maxim says only, لا ربا, there is no usury unless in these 2 types. فيما يكال, whatever being measured and whatever being weighed. Other than that, it's not considered usury. It's not considered.
Oh, but let's say bottles of milk that you count. 1 bottle, 2 bottles, 3 bottles.
If you count them, they are not measured. If you count them,
Well, of course, there's a measurement on every bottle.
yeah, it is usually measurement. But if, let's say, in some countries they count them, the measurement is based on counting, not measuring, then it will be the same. What else being measured? Gas. Gas. When you fill gas, how do you measure it? It's measurement. They say how many gallons you put in your car? 12, 15, 18, 20. So this is measured. Again, the gas is also, it's not numbered, it's not counted by numbers, but by measurement.
What about a car, say? What about a car?
A car, exchanging a car? The car neither measured nor
Right.
weighed.
So that one's okay?
Of
So
course.
you can give somebody a lower quality and
Yeah.
something.
Yes, you can do that. You can do that. Yeah. Okay. Then what is the second type? Let me put it here. Second type of riba is what you asked earlier. Second is al-qardi, the loan or money/money. Monetary exchange. They call it in fiqh language riba an-nasi'ah. Riba an-nasi'ah. And this is mentioned in the Quran. إنما النسء زيادة في الكفر. نسء. Nis means nasi'ah. Means when you take loan, when someone comes to you asking for $100 loan, you give him in return for $110 when he brings the money back after 1 week. You are asking him. This is called qardi, the loan. This is not allowed. This is riba. And most of the verses in the Quran that lash out at riba and usury speak about the second type, not the first one. This one.
Sorry, what does nasi'a mean?
Nasi'a means when you pay later.
I'll pay later.
Yes, you pay later, then, and they ask for an increase in paying later, then this is nasi'a.
How about money exchange, say?
Money exchange, let's say you have money of this country, let's say you have euro and dollars. You may exchange $10 with 9 or 8 euros because it is counted. This is counted. It's not measured. It's not weighed. So you can exchange Less with more with less. You can do that. This is why the exchange bureaus, sarrafin, they are legal. Islamically, they are legal. You give them $100, huh? How many Lebanese lira they give you? How many million? Huh?
Multiply by 1,500.
1,500? It's like the Iraqi dinar. Iraqi dinar is 1,225, yeah? Was it? Yeah. Give them to Oman, how many? You have to bring a bag, put it on your shoulder. 5,000 now, yes? 5,000, yeah. That one is okay. The money exchange is okay.
But in the case of riba, also it's counted, isn't it?
How it is counted?
Meaning you give
Yeah.
money in exchange of a bigger number of money.
No, but this is similar currency.
Values.
He's
Oh.
giving you $100 as a loan and he's asking $110 in return. $110. Unless you give him, let's say, Japanese yen return. To get rid of that, give him different currency. But usually you give the same currency. Same currency.
So let's say instead of
Nowadays, some progressive fuqaha, they say, listen, yes, currencies have names, euro, pound, dollars, but at the end, they have the same value. They have a value in the market. So yes, this one is less in number, this one is big in number, but they have values. So even that you cannot do, because this is considered cheating. You are saying, I'm giving him another name, but you are giving him with another name, but with the same value, with more value. Are you with me? When you consider the value of this is more than the value of that. Yes.
Say, what about inflation, or is it, let's say somebody $1,000 and then he's going to pay you back 20 years later?
There is a way. We will go to this slowly. But I'm just defining what is riba. I'm just defining. We will go how to get rid of this. There are ways, exceptions. So number one is mu'amali, the trading that you can't. Number two is this one. Most of the verses in the Quran that are very harsh, أحل الله البيع وحرم الربا, speak about this. Why? Because this is based on exploitation. Someone comes, he's hungry, desperately needs money for food, for gas, for rent, for medication, and you tell him, yeah, I'll give you the money. But when you bring it back to me, you have to. So you are overburdening him. And you are making the society looks harsh, merciless. This is why. And now, when I came to America, I realized this. I did not know about it when I was back home. Here in America, you want to get $10,000. When you return it, how much you return? Sometimes $25,000, sometimes $30,000. The $10,000 becomes $30,000.
Yeah, say, what about, and I think I know the answer to this one, what you're going to say, but I just want to ask anyways. Somebody, this is how they make their money, let's say. So instead of, you buy a car at $1,500 and then you're going to sell it for $2,000. You make $500. What about the person that has, how they want to work is they have
This is tijara. See, Ali, there is a difference between أحل الله البيع. He made tijara, business, selling. He made it lawful. وحرم الربا. You buy from the auction. You buy a car for $1,500. You bring it. You do some adjustments, some cleaning. You sell it to $2,000. This is a trade.
But not the car. My question was like, what about the person that wants to, let's say,
Invest his money.
yeah, let's say I want to give you $1,000, but give it to me back as $1,200.
Yeah.
This is their job.
This is the problem. This is the problem because he's sitting at the comfort of his home. He's not doing anything. He's not using his muscles. He's not using his brain.
But he used it to get the money, let's say.
He's just relaxed. I'll give you this. Come back to me. It creates laziness. He's using his money but not his talent.
Okay.
Allah wants you through your money to make investment. Agriculture, industry, go to the market. Sometimes there is a chance of making, sometimes there is a chance of loss. But while you are a millionaire, you are sitting at home and doing nothing but giving loan and earning income, this is not good.
Even if the other party agrees to it.
Even if the other party agrees. The other party is agreeing because he has no choice.
Right.
Some people, they have no choice. They come, they say, okay.
Okay.
And then it takes away mercy and compassion from society.
So Maulana, how
It
about-
makes people always think in terms of how do I exploit and make more money from those poor. And who usually get the loan? The poor people. The rich do not go get a loan. Nowadays, yes, in America, he wants to buy a huge business. Everybody takes a loan. But we are speaking about traditional societies. Traditional societies, only the poor people, they go
Right.
for loan, not the rich. And that would increase their poverty. Yes,
How about mortgage? Then?
I will come to this. We will come to mortgage, we will come to car payment, we will come to it.
So you can ask you, the asbab al-nuzul for this, is it, at that time, was there a lot of exploitation going on?
Yeah. And there were people of the book,
Mm.
other religions, they had money and they would exploit the society. They will give them with very harsh terms. When people come, they really need to eat, they need to build his house, they need to, do something urgent. Otherwise, people would not. Nowadays, people apply for a loan even if they don't need it, for luxury. He wants to buy a yacht, he wants to buy a private jet. But at that time, it was for necessities. He wants to get married, he wants to buy a house, he wants a room, he wants a shelter. So it would lead into, and therefore Allah says in the Quran, يَمْحَقُ اللَّهُ الرِّبَى وَيُرْبِي الصَّدَقَاتِ. Look at the reasoning. يَمْحَق, Allah will blot off, bolt or blot, destroy. Allah will destroy the riba. Meaning that the money that you receive it from interest, giving people loan, it has no barakah. يَمْحَق, it will go away. It would be lost. وَيُرْبِي, on the other hand, if you give charity, if you give loan without interest, free interest loan, وَيُرْبِي, it becomes multiplied, growth. Because riba, see, riba in the language is a growth, is an increase. وَيُرْبِي الصَّدَقَاتِ. When it comes to sadaqat, charity, interest to free loan, Allah is going to increase the blessing of this money on you. وَيُرْبِي الصَّدَقَاتِ.
Is this forbidden on the giver only, or giver and taker?
Maybe the taker also. The taker who's taking at good terms definitely is going to pray for that person who gave him. So for both, provided that he will return the money, because some of them, they take it and then they run off. Okay. What else? Here, you cannot, with this one, you should not ask for the increase. But if the person himself, he took $1,000 from you now, the day of return, he says, this is $1,050 as a token of respect. This is a gift because you helped me. Then it is okay to accept that. Yes.
What if it's before, like, what if you say, I'll loan you this money, and then they say, oh, thank you, when I give it to you back, I'll give it to you double.
If he says, without any pressure, it's okay. It's okay. If someone says, yeah. He says, inshallah, when I bring it back, I'll put some money at the top of that.
And then he's bound to give you what he promised, not just the original.
No, he's not bound.
Oh, he's not.
No. If he's bound, then it means that you are putting some conditions. So he's not bound. He says, if I, inshallah, make more money, I will give more to you.
Unless it's a niyyah.
Huh?
Unless he does it in the form of a niyyah. Maybe we have no.
Because he imposed it on himself.
Yeah.
If it is bound, then this means that the other side is expecting, you must give me.
Right.
But if he says, I will give you, inshallah, I will. If I make more money, I will give more.
Right.
Yeah. But this is not bounding. This is not bounding because once it becomes bounding, it means there are terms and conditions. Okay? The second, sometimes he says, okay, I am giving you $1,000 as a loan, bring it back to me as $1,000, but also fix my car for me. He's a mechanic, let's say. Fix the car, free. Is this okay or not?
No.
Why?
Should be okay.
It's not the same amount. He's bringing only $1,000.
He's putting a condition, no?
Well, that has a monetary value.
I am asking you to see what you think.
It's not okay.
It's not okay. Why?
He's getting more. More
Exactly.
value.
So the more not necessarily should be more money, sometimes more service. He's asking for a service. So this is not accepted. Or sometimes not a service. He says, yes, I'll give you $10,000. Give me back $10,000. But you know this minister of Fulan, minister of labor, go let him sign my paper. Party bazi.
Some things never change.
Exactly. So he's asking him for a favor. So whether it is favor or service or monetary money, these things are not accepted. These things are haram. Okay. How about someone says, I have old dollars. Every time I go to Iraq and Iran, some people come to me, believe me, bringing some old $100 bill. Say it. Can you exchange this with a new one? I tell them, okay, yeah. Someone says, give me, I am giving you a brand new $100 bill. You give me the old one, $110, $120. Exchanging the good quality with the bad quality, but with an increase.
No,
Huh?
the value is different
Value is different?
now. Yeah, that's extra.
So is that this transaction is okay?
No.
It's not okay. It's not okay. It's forbidden. But do you know that in some markets in the Middle East, if you give them a $100 bill, they will reduce the exchange? Yes. They don't give you the full value.
Versus like $20?
No. Let's say you give them 100. Let's say the $100 bill is, let's say, 100 dinar. If you give him the old one, he will give you 90 dinars because he says this is old.
Older $100. Oh.
Yeah.
Even in the banks?
I don't know in the banks, but outside. This is why always when you go to Middle East, brand new.
What's the rationale behind
Take the
buying
brand new with you. And even if you take broken ones, let's say 20s, some people last minute before I board the airplane, say it, my sadaqah please. And I go, only $1 bill. $1 bill, they don't even accept it from you, let alone they give you lesser value. In some countries, if you give them the $100 in forms of 20s, 5 20s, they'll give you less money.
Yeah.
Less money. They want a brand new and large bill.
And even if it's broken, sometimes they don't accept
Of course, not only broken, if there is something written on it, one dot, they don't accept. They need perfect coming out of the engraving and a printing bureau in Washington, D.C. In God we trust. Okay. Now, my friends, how do we get rid of this? The al-qardi. You are buying a house and you have the down payment, but the rest of it you have to get the loan from the bank. or you're buying a car, the car, they say out of the door, what they say, the total price? Huh?
Out the door.
Out the door is $20,000. $20,000, let's say, with taxes, with license taxes,
Drive off price.
drive-off price. But then if you don't have the cash over 5 years, this will be, let's say, 24,000, sometimes 25,000. So how do we get rid of this?
Ishtirak, cooperation
Hmm?
between you and
No. Because it is okay in the Islamic law for the cash money that you give now, it could be less than the money that you pay over 5 years, period of 5 years. So it is okay if the price is different.
So it's adjusted for inflation.
Yeah, because you tell him now I sell you this now with $10. But if you give me the money 2 weeks from now, you're delaying, then it has to be $15 or $12. So the price for the cash immediate payment is different from the price which is in installments over a period of time. It's okay.
How's that different than if I give someone $10 and then I say in a
No,
year you're gonna
that
pay
one is a loan. Don't. We have to differentiate. See, fiqh is very precise, daqiq. That case is a loan. You are giving him a loan. In this case, he's selling. He's buying. You are selling him something. Selling him, but the money you are not getting it now. You are getting it over a period of 5 years, 7 years. So it's different. The value should be different. It's okay. We have two values. Value you pay now, value you pay in 7 years.
So the difference is whether you're just giving somebody a loan for money versus you're actually purchasing something.
Exactly. In this case, you are purchasing. In that case, you are just giving him money. Here, Dr. Omid, the same thing I said to Dr. Ali. Here you have a shop, you are doing trading business. In that case of loan, you are doing nothing, sitting in your home. People come and they get the money from you and then return it to you. So you are not exerting any effort in case of giving loan. You are just putting your money in the market. Here, you buy, you sell. Okay? This is a trade. This is bay'. Bay'.
So let's say you give them a loan for $1,000 and they don't pay you for 20 years. 20 years later they come and say, here's $1,000, I owe you $1,000. That's how it should be?
No. At that time, after 20 years, you have to look at the purchasing power of the $1,000.
Okay,
You have to look at the inflation.
right.
So you are not asking for usury, riba, interest. You are asking for the difference in the inflation, in the purchasing power.
Okay.
So you are right. You have the right to ask for that difference because that is not considered riba. It is considered the difference. The value drops after 20 years. The 1,000 is not the same in countries where they have 5% inflation, 7%. You know, in some countries, their currency after 5 years, you know, you have to throw it in the trash. Doesn't have any value. So that one is different. That one is a different. Did you get what he said? Huh? Ammu? Did you understand what he said?
So then even if the value goes down, then you have to adjust it? Then they give you less?
No. If it goes down, the value, if that $1,000, if it goes down, definitely he has to adjust it. He has to give you 1,300. But let's say if the value, let's say by a miracle it happens, that the value of the $1,000 in 10 years, 20 years is going to be more, even more. In that case, he gives you only 1,000, not 800. He says, listen, now the value is, more, so I'm returning you 800. No, he gives you 1,000. Did you get this point, Ammu? Okay. In case of mortgage, You are getting the loan from the bank, my friends. Isn't it like that? You are purchasing the house from this party, and then there is a third party involved. He says, I will give you the loan. I am neither the buyer nor the seller. I am a third party, but I will intervene here and I will give you the loan. I'll give you 100,000 over a period of 30 years, 20 years. You give me 300,000 over installments. How about this? Is this acceptable?
That sounds like riba to me. Looks like riba.
What do you think?
Well, partially it's a riba, partially it's adjustment for inflation.
But you're buying something too, there's an item
I think
there, right?
that's exactly what I agree.
One thing is that money, if you don't pay it,
No, you are
Right.
buying, listen, this is third party.
Right.
No, you're not buying.
that money,
Third party who's giving you a loan.
For a house.
It's not the same Toyota company who says this car, if you give the money now, cash today, write me a check, you give 20,000. If you give me the money over 5 years, you give me 25,000.
But that,
It's
they,
different.
they're setting that, they're setting, the bank isn't setting the price or the value, the person that is, because a lot of times, your example of Toyota, if you go to Toyota, they have their own funding. So instead of them funding, if they don't have the capability, they just outsource it. So
Exactly, they outsource. So there is a bank. But still you are buying with two prices, the cash price and the long-term price. But in the house, definitely they outsource. The seller is not going to give you, is the one who's, the seller, he wants his money now because he wants to buy another house. So you have to go to a third party. And most likely you're going to get the loan from a third party.
Right.
As Hamid Agha mentioned, this is part of it is usury, no doubt. Part of it is adjustment for inflation, definitely. It's adjustment for inflation. For the part of it which is usury, what do? We all have to get mortgage in this country. Very few people, they are able to buy cash. Only the Chinese, mashallah. Nowadays they come and, they pay cash. But the rest, they have to get a loan from the bank. So how do you solve this problem? There is a hila shar'iyya to get rid of usury and, buy the house and pay the payment without being responsible.
You can rent.
Rent? Rent what?
In a way, you can sit in a house and pay the rent. It's more or less the same thing.
Can you pay?
Oh, you mean you don't take a loan? No, sometimes you don't want to rent, you want to buy.
You rent the money and the house in a way.
How do you rent the...
it means that the amount that you are paying per month
It's
for the mortgage is the same
like rent?
like renting.
Yeah, but no,
Still,
rent is different. Rent, he can evict you, your name is not on the title, you are not called the owner,
Can you pay?
you are a tenant. This one is no different. Rules are different.
Does that have anything
Yeah.
to do with homes? Pay homes on it, or is it kind of?
What homes? They are breaking your back by getting 3 times. And above that, you want to pay homes? Ali, please, Ali, don't be alimha. You're going to
He's thinking in terms of kafara.
kafara. Yeah, he wants to say kafara. No, homes, sometimes the money, al-mal al-halal, al-makhlut bil-haram. Some money, I know part of it is halal, part of it I was selling, let's say, not me, camera, not me. So, selling drugs, let's say. Drugs, alcohol, arms. The money got mixed. He doesn't know what is exactly how much. Who is who, he doesn't. 20 years he's doing that. In that case, he pays the khums of that money to purify it. In that case. But this is no. This is not solved through khums. How do we solve this?
Maulana,
If you don't,
Atiyah was going to say
Oh, sorry.
something.
No, no.
Nothing to do with the market value. Can you see now the market value when you're done paying it, what it's worth?
Of course, the market value definitely will definitely after 20 years, 30 years, definitely it's your house is going to go in value. But it's still you cannot say rule out that no, it's not usury. No, you can't. Still, part of it is usury. Part of it is usury. The bank which is giving you is not giving you for the sake of God or because he loves you. No, he wants to make profit of that. This is their business. This is how they make money.
Ask for forgiveness, John. Sister.
How do we ask for forgiveness? How do we solve it? Make it shari'i, acceptable.
the same condition, everything stays
Yeah,
the same?
everything stays the same. Only the name is changed.
Consider like your, that doesn't work. I was saying, you
Well, I'm
consider
saying
your.
that-
Of course, you know that the first 7 years they charge you interest.
Yes.
After the 7th or 8th year, then let's say the $800 that you pay, let's say 800, well, there's nothing like it. $300 goes for the capital and 500 goes also for the interest. Yeah, isn't it? The one that goes for the capital, you have no problem with it. It goes for the capital. Okay? But the one which is 500, this is interest. They say it's written interest, depending on how much, what's the percentage of the interest. This one you may change from interest to what? Huh?
Gift?
In some ways gift,
Charity?
but to the bank you don't call it gift. You may call it to someone, private lender, a friend. You take 10,000 from him. When you return it, you return 11,000, 12,000 as a gift, hiba, gift. But with the bank, you don't give a gift to the bank. What do you call it in this case? You call it service charge. The bank, it's a financial institutions, they have people working, getting salaries, okay? So you are giving to the bank manager, you tell him at the time where you sign, and he doesn't care, the bank manager. I was telling him the other day, he said, but are you paying the money or not? I said, yeah. He said, okay, I don't care what you call it. Just give me my money back. Yeah.
So it's really the external condition hasn't changed. It's just the niyyah that.
The niyyah, yeah.
So you change
The
your
niyyah.
Yeah, but they,
Now we have Islamic banks here in America, here,
Yeah.
who charge you the same amount, but they don't call it riba. They call the bank La Riba Bank, La Riba. We don't, but they get the same, but in the name of service charge.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, of course. You think that it's a free?
I thought.
No. Go to the bank and ask them.
but say the intention is that the
Charge them.
service
Exactly the same as another US bank or Bank of America, they charge you, but only the name is different.
You can just do the same thing with your own bank.
Because they want to, huh?
You're saying you can just do the same thing with your own bank?
Yeah. Tell the manager of your own bank, Bank of America, tell him, listen, what I am paying you, I would not call it interest. I would call it, he would tell you, okay, good luck. Whatever name you want, just give me my money back. Don't delay the money. Call it whatever you want to call. Call it zabiha.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the problem is, okay, our intention, the borrower is, okay, we'll say service charge, but we know what their intention is.
Yeah.
So isn't intention,
Ali, this is in case, the ulama, they say,
right,
contemporary. They say if you have cash money, you have to buy cash. You are not allowed to get a loan. But if you have no choice, you don't have cash, and you don't want to change your house every 2 years, the landlord, he comes and he says, vacate my house, I need my house back. You need to raise family, you need to stay in this area for 10 years, 15 years. Then this is اضطرار, emergency. And the only way, and if you can get a private interest free. You have a friend who will give you 200,000, 300,000 without asking for it. You must do that.
Right.
You must explore all these venues. But if worse come to worse and you have no one to help you, then you must do this as a last resort solution.
Then under that scenario, you should borrow as little as you need. Wouldn't that
Exactly. This is why the fuqaha, they say for a second house, vacation house, you can't take a loan from the bank.
be for a bigger house, in a bigger, more than you need?
Unless you're in
Yeah.
education.
Yeah. Or you want to buy a yacht, for instance, or a private jet. You cannot pay interest. Or a vacation house, because vacation house is not a necessity. It's not a necessity. But for your business, let's say you want to open a business, you need money. You need to have a shelter, your own principal house, where you shelter yourself and your family. Then you can use this hila shar'iyya.
Did this develop out of like Hajjiyat al-Arf or not really?
Yeah. Urf says, yeah. And Urf says this is legitimate. Really, the bank, but of course they charge more, because you are not the only customer. There are millions of customers paying them. But you can get it, put this title on it. Because that's the only way. The only way to have a house to live. Sometimes people say the rent does not work for me. I don't want the rent. Rent is risky. I don't want to keep moving from this apartment, especially here. Do you know here? Every 6 months, some of these complexes, they increase.
Yeah.
A lot.
$70, $100, $120.
Yeah.
So, Mizuki, come inside. So,
How about if you take a loan for other purposes?
this is what we say. Other purposes, are they to open a business? This
For
is your
business.
primary business or second business, third business?
Expand the business.
It depends. Expanding the
It's 100
business,
million, you want to make it 200 million.
problematic.
That kind of thing.
Problematic.
That you don't really need it. but-
Yeah, problematic. If you really don't need it just to expand, the urf says this is necessary for him. Sometimes this company, if you can't compete with others, you lose. You lose. Your company starts losing. So this is a loss. The urf decides these. We have to study them. We have to study pros and cons and see. Sometimes he's not in need. He has food, not for food or medication. But if he does not expand, others will expand and he would lose. So in that case, it's a necessity. Now, there are few instances where interest is okay. Interest is okay. If you open an account in a bank and they tell you we give you a monthly interest of this percent, is this okay to accept it or not?
Yes.
Why?
Because you're not
They're
setting the
offering,
terms.
you're not
Hmm?
asking.
Because
Because
I'm
it's
not
not
setting
setting
the
the
terms.
Exactly. You are not asking. You are not asking. He's giving you. Take it. No problem. In case a father takes loan from his son, this is an exception. So the father can say to his son, I'll give you $1,000, Daddy, my sweetheart, please, when you return it to me, make it 1,200. This is one case. The second case, what is the second case? Which is okay to ask. You ask. You ask for an increase. So the first one between the father and the son. The father, not the son. The son cannot ask the father for an interest. But the father can ask the son for an interest. What is the second case? Husband and wife. Between them. Either the wife, she gets the loan, or he gets the loan from her. They can ask. It's not considered riba. What is the third? A Muslim can ask al-kafir al-harbi. Not any kafir, not any non-Muslim. a non-Muslim who's fighting him, fighting his community, his society, he can ask him for an interest.
Muslim can ask a non-Muslim fighting him?
A non-Muslim who's fighting enemy combatant, he can ask him for an increase.
Wait, sorry, can you say it again? Who can ask who?
A Muslim can give a loan to an enemy combatant who's non-Muslim and can ask him for interest in return. Okay? Please come inside. Nadeem, if you...
Thank you.
That's some peaceful negotiation there.
Peaceful negotiations. Okay? So these are the terms and conditions of this jurisprudential maxim regarding usury. Today our class was about usury. What is forbidden and what is okay. What is lawful and what is unlawful. Any questions here? Usury is riba, yes. We were studying this and about mortgage and payments and the increase and وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين